Tá an Gwelga scan rule Garda Dihu, Ashans Govatrug na rapper Lihe us to a skirt Erin Iha Howell. I think I said that right. Now that beautiful language that you just heard right now is Gwelga, aka Irish. And unfortunately over the past decades, the amount of people that speak Irish fluently in Ireland has dropped significantly. I myself can't speak Irish. I had to spend an hour and a half learning the fucking sentence at the start of this video. An hour and a half to learn my own native tongue. Where else are you gonna see something like that? It's honestly so sad, but like for those of you wondering why no one speaks Irish in Ireland, the simple answer is the British came to our shores a few hundred years ago and on sight decided they wanted to steal our lunch money. But not only was it the lunch money that they stole, they saw us flapping our lips and they found it offensive that they couldn't understand what we were saying, because not only were they enslaving the Irish people on their own fucking continent, they forced the Irish people to stop speaking their own language and stop practicing their own religion, which is Catholic. But us Irish are resilient little fuckers and we refuse to back down. So the only reason that Irish is still even around to this day is because we had a few rebellious cunts back in the day and basically just rebelled against the British by speaking their own language. I don't know why I made this video, it's actually starting to annoy me. But if we fast forward to modern day, the interest in young people for learning the Irish language, myself included, is non-existent. Mainly because the way it is taught in school is just boring as fuck and there just is not enough to keep young people interested in learning it. But there is a giant green, white and gold light at the end of the tunnel, because recently 3 native Irish speakers from the north of Ireland has inspired the young people to learn their native tongue in the most unlikely way possible: rap. And these mysterious saviours that I speak of are called Kneecap. But basically what Kneecap is, they are a rap group that rap in Irish and English as well, but that is their pull. They rap in Irish. That shit has never been heard before. Singing in Irish we've heard, yes, and it's beautiful. Rapping and hip hop in Irish? That shit goes hard, man. That shit goes unbelievably fucking wonkers. Wonkers? Bonkers. That's what I meant to say. And on top of that, they actually got a movie released recently enough. It was only a few months back. But last night, I sat down and I watched that movie. And my brother in Christ, bro. I actually need to look this up. Is this like the actual origin story of these lads? Okay, right, I get the gist of it now. The movie is basically a fictionalized biopic in a way. Like their origin story itself is the real thing, but like they take creative liberties to make it more entertaining. And it is a great fucking story, man. It is heartwarming, it is uplifting, motivating, and it's just good. It's just a well-made movie. It's fucking hilarious as well.
So what do you think? Could you get me something by then?
You mixed up that coat and cat again, didn't you?
So I'm just gonna leave this here. And I'm gonna go.
Fuck.
If you are not accustomed to Irish humour, you need to watch this movie because you will fucking die laughing. The Irish people are some of the funniest people you'll ever fucking meet. And I'm not saying that to stroke my own ego, like I'm not sitting here thinking I'm fucking hilarious or anything, but like Irish people as a whole are the funniest cunts in the whole fucking world. Irish and Scottish. I'll let the Scots in too. A little history on Kneecap, right? They are from the north of Ireland and they are from West Belfast. And because of the fact that Belfast and the north as a whole is still under the British rule, there is unfortunately still a lot of conflict up there. Because although there are a lot of people who are just comfortable the way they're living because they've been living under the British rule for hundreds of years at this point, aka unionists, there are still a good few Republicans in Northern Ireland, or the north of Ireland, sorry boys, who are proud Irish people. They love their Irish history and they want a united Ireland. But there are 80,000 native speakers, meaning they were taught it from fucking birth basically, that it is one of their main languages, that are still alive in Ireland to this day, and 6,000 of them are from the north. And in the movie it was kind of like educational as well, because of the fact that I was born in like Dublin a long time after, you know, the British had already left. I hadn't had to deal with any of those like problems. I've only had to learn about them. But watching this movie really opened my eyes. If the way that they depicted, you know, the peelers as they called them over there, the way they portrayed them in this movie, like if that is real, they're cunts. They're pricks. I hate them all. Because they're still like treating the Irish people like cunts. Like we're fucking dirt. You know what I mean?
The chocolate Leo. If I had the fucking peeler in my head. Why don't you just speak the Queen's English? You Fenian cunt.
They're very much against people speaking Irish, or at least like a few years ago, they were still very much against people speaking their native tongue. And in this movie, the main two characters, obviously since they're native speakers, they rebelliously just speak Irish to these like British fucking officers, just to piss them off basically. They refuse to speak English to them, and in the movie, the way the fucking people, the way the peelers, I'm gonna call them the peelers, fuck them. The way the peelers react to these cunts speaking Irish is, the only way to describe it is disgust. And they constantly say, why don't you speak the Queen's English? That in and of itself made me so ashamed to only speak English. I hate that now. And it shows their origins of like the problems that they were getting into. Like they had a lot of stuff like problems with drugs and all that shit. Commonplace in Ireland as a whole, especially fucking Dublin, you know. It actually like kind of felt like home watching the movie, because a lot of the things that were going on in the movie were very relatable to shit that I've dealt with here as well. Minus, you know, the Unionists versus the Republican shit. One of the main things I took away from the movie is when they were first asked if they want to make music, they were very hesitant, because they're like, who wants to listen to hip hop in Irish? Like, no one speaks it really. And like, we see many classroom scenes of people like getting taught Irish, and like, man, it gave me fucking Vietnam flashbacks, man. It is just as boring as I remember it being.
Lee and Kylie, ik wens Mona Senjarhin.
And throughout the movie, we just see all the students are just not engaged. They just don't care. They don't want to learn the language. But when Kneecap make their first song in the movie, we see that a lot of students are actually like trying to learn Irish so they know what they're saying in the music, and or they're getting inspired, just like I have been. I'll get to that in a bit. They're getting inspired by the fact that they're hearing somebody rap in Irish and hearing that it sounds so fucking good that it has inspired them to go and learn their native tongue. It kind of made them feel like a sort of responsibility to go and learn Irish. And the one line that kept being said in the movie that really fucking stuck with me is something that one of the main lads' dads says to him all the time in the movie, which is, every word of Irish spoken is a bullet fired for freedom. What a fucking line, man. And that one sentence truly inspired me to want to learn Irish. And it really opened my eyes as well, because like sentiments like that I hear about so much because of my country's history and everything that I have in my house. And because I was born in Dublin in a time after, you know, English rule and British rule and all that shit, it's not something that I've ever had to deal with, you know? It really opened my eyes to that. It's not something that I had to deal with or fight back against or anything like that in my lifetime. So it's never really anything that like crossed my mind in modern day. But seeing this movie and hearing like basically most of the movie is in Irish. It's like half Irish, half English basically. But like seeing the entire movie in Irish, seeing like the Irish people in the north getting like profiled and called Fenian cunts, and hearing shit like, oh, why aren't you speaking the Queen's English, you know? It is literally the exact same shit that happened back in the fucking day, like, you know, when we were slaves. And seeing the disgust on their face and all that shit, it's just like, it kind of like reignited my Irish republicanness. You know what I mean? But something as simple as just a rap group of native Irish speakers making music. It's crazy how inspired I am to learn my own language again, you know? It's actually like something that I kind of needed. But like to see in the movie that like them making that has inspired so many of the younger Northern Irish people to go out and basically be like, fuck the Brits, I'm going to learn my language, was really fucking heartwarming. I keep like going around circles because like I keep thinking of something else I want to say and yada yada yada. This is why I need to start making scripts again. And the saddest part about it is, right, I don't even think I'm ever going to get to like fluent Irish level, because the lads in the movie, and I didn't mention this actually, the lads in the movie are played by the actual lads from Kneecap, but they were brought up in Irish speaking households, so like their parents would speak Irish and it was their main language at home, which is why they're so proficient in it. But in Dublin, no one speaks Irish. Not no one, but like there are very little people who can speak Irish, and even then they don't really do it. But like the funniest thing about it is, although I am like annoyed about the fact that like the British fucking took our language away, like I'm obviously not going to be happy about that, it has been weirdly beneficial in the long term. Most people speak English It's obviously because the fucking English fucking took over everywhere most of the time, but like, who cares? But it's weird because like most countries speak English, most people know some sort of English, and if I didn't know English, like, or was not taught English from birth, there are so many people in my life that I would not have been able to communicate with at all. Because think of it this way, right? If I was brought up speaking Irish, which I would have preferred, honestly, and Irish was my main language, that would then mean that I would have to go and learn English as my second language, and considering the fact that I can barely fucking speak the thing, given it's my only language, I don't think I would have been able to learn English if I had to learn it as another language. Similar to the way I was with Irish, where like I just wasn't able to learn it. I feel like the same thing would have happened with English, and yeah, I don't know. It's weird. There's like pros and cons, you know? The funniest fucking thing about it, man, that I realized while, like, you know, earlier on when I was doing an hour and a half of learning a sentence, is like how like things have been turned on their heads compared to a few hundred years ago. Like back then, the Irish people were forced to stop speaking their language and learn English. They were forced to do it. And now, after 500 years of that fucking process, here I am today using English to learn Irish. Is that not weird? Like, that's fucking bonkers, you know? Like, imagine saying that to the British rulers back in the day that took over Ireland and forced us to stop speaking Irish, that one day we would use their language to regain our own, you know? That's actually kind of fucking motivational. You hear that, you fucking old British tyrants? I hope you are rolling in your fucking graves because I'm using your God-given Queen's English. Oh, I actually got like a shiver when I said that. To learn my own native tongue again. So I hope all the worms in your fucking eye sockets are having a field day, you cunts. Jesus Christ. But that's the rant over, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed. I really do. If you don't know about these guys, Kneecap, go listen to some of their songs. Even if you're not Irish, like just for fun. Go and see what the Irish language sounds like in hip-hop. And I would highly recommend going and watching the Kneecap movie. Like, that is a really funny, really entertaining movie. For some reason, if the boys on Kneecap are watching this video, fucking legends, thank you all. You gave me something that I wanted for years, which is the motivation to go back and try learn my language again. But if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and click on one of the 2 videos at the end, and also leave a like, because then YouTube will know that I'm worth caring about. You don't want to be racist now, do you? Because, like, you know, considering the fact you see in this video, you now know that Irish people are a minority group. So if you don't like the video, you're a racist. Simple. You know, you decide. Do your thing. Like the fucking video.